Hey guys, John Doerr here again with Two Marine Dads. Listen, last week we talked about, I've got basically five guidelines that I run my life with. And last week's was, no never means no, with the exception of one specific set of circumstances. No never means no. You just got to outflank and figure out a ways around the pop-up roadblocks that life throws at you. And life will throw some sick, twisted shit your way, trust me. But this week we want to talk about, I work hard to get lucky. That is another rule that I live by. I work hard to get lucky. What does that mean? So we'll just jump into it here. We're not talking about Ron Jeremy. We're not talking about Jenna Jameson. We're not talking about Hugh Hefner, or all these guys who arguably worked hard to get lucky. We're not talking about that, guys. What we're talking about is your job. We're talking about the opportunities that come your way. Like I say, there's no mystical force out there called opportunity floating around like some sort of evil spirit or something that's looking to strike you, okay? What it is hard work and preparation. That's what 99% of the people call luck, all right, is planning, is the hard work. And the thing about hard work is that it builds on itself. So today, if you do 2 hours of work, I don't know if you're working towards to land a project, every day you're doing the research. Every day you're doing your homework. You're doing quantities. You're doing takeoff, stuff like this. Like in the construction world, that's how you would work hard. So the project in and out. You know what it's going to cost. You know what equipment you need, etc. And then the preparation. Say you land that. The preparation is when you get the right equipment out there. You prepare. You clear the job site. And you do it in a fashion that's conducive to executing your tasks, so to speak. So what luck is, and you say, wow, we got lucky. We made a lot of money on this one, on this one bid item or on this one portion of work. That wasn't luck. That was preparation. That was dedication. That was hard work. So again, hard work kind of builds on itself. Every day you do 2 or 3 hours and it keeps going up and up and up. It builds on itself. Now preparation, on the other hand, it actually gets easier as time goes by. So you're not building on it. You're actually doing less. So at first you're like, wow, this is totally insurmountable. I can't prepare enough. But if you do a little preparation today, tomorrow, that's already done, and you can build on that preparation. And tomorrow you have to do less to be more prepared. Whatever it may be. I don't know if you're buying groceries or you're buying ammunition or whatever it is. If you buy you buy 10 canned goods today, preparing for a storm that's coming. Tomorrow, maybe you go back to the grocery store. Now you only need to buy 2. So it actually kind of starts going down. It never goes to 0 because you're always preparing for whatever it is. Hopefully it's not for a catastrophe, but you are preparing and it goes down. So I've taken the time to kind of put this together and show you what I mean when I say a demand curve. Guys, this is a very simplistic demand curve. So hard work's on the bottom in this building. That line's going up. Preparation is going down. And then I drew a star there. That's what people call luck. Okay. That's the eureka moment. That's where people go, wow, we made a lot of money on this, or wow, we just landed this contract, or wow, we hired the right guy, or we hired the right gal. That is the moment that people are like, well, you just got lucky. And your average person who's in keeping with what I said yesterday, smoking a bowl and working at Sonic, they don't see that. They just see a normal 9 to 5, or they work 6 hours a day. They don't see everything that goes into it. Like I said, I can give you example after example. Hurricane Charlie came through, and I went out, and when the weather lady said these big spinny red clouds on the Doppler radar are headed right for you, to go out and get canned goods and get some propane and gasoline, you know what I did? I took my fat backside over to the gas station and filled up, and I went to Publix, and I bought all the canned goods and all that kind of stuff. So after the storm hit, I'm like, guys, you should probably boil your water, because the lift stations in Florida are down, and you're mixing sewage. The sewage could in a very small percentage mix with the drinking water if the line is ruptured or cracked or something like this. So you probably want to boil your water. And I got, well, it must be easy for you. And I was like, why? Why can't you boil water? It takes fire. We've had this technology for 10,000 years now or longer, and she's like, well, we didn't go out and do anything. Well, when the weather lady told you that these big swirly saw blade looking clouds were headed your way, why the heck didn't you go out and buy a damn Bunsen burner? So it was kind of, well, you must be lucky. No, I'm not lucky. I spent the last week doing what the lady on the TV told me to do. And using my head. I'm probably gonna need a generator. I'm probably gonna need gasoline. I'm probably gonna need, some propane for my little camping stove. I'm gonna need non-perishables. These fall under the no duh category. But that's just a simple example of doing the hard work every day, taking the 10 minutes, stopping by the store, buying a few things, and then the preparation came. Getting together, getting the generator put up, and then when the storm hit, I wasn't lucky that I had all that stuff. I had made it happen. So, that's just a simplistic example of what people call luck. But it's not to say that there's no such thing as luck, John. I found a 4-leaf clover and that was lucky. Okay, that's true. That was lucky. Or, you scratch off the winning lottery ticket. That's also luck, again. But that kind of luck will break a man if he tries to pursue it. All right, you cannot try to just have dumb luck pave your way in life. You're going to end up broke. You're going to end up, self-loathing. You're going to end up depressed. You want to know what keeps people going is the hard work portion of this thing, is staying engaged and not being lazy, picking yourself up and doing the work. I decided I was going to lose some weight, and I'm doing it. This month I've lost 9 pounds so far and counting. You don't see me posting that all over the place and taking pictures of my shirt off and all that kind of stuff. That's just not who I am. But I'm doing the work every day. I want a cheeseburger. I want a piece of pizza and other happy Italian foods. All right. But I choose a salad, and that takes dedication, because salad gets old. No matter how you prep it, it can get old. And if you're not careful, you can make your salad have more of a caloric value than a piece of lasagna. So doing it right, I reach for the carrots instead of the chips now. I reach for these hippie waters, I call them, these LaCroix, and they give me the little tang of the soda without any of the sugar. So there's little things like that where I've made changes, and it's starting to show. My belt loop is one hole smaller now. So what I'm getting at, guys, is hard work and preparation is what most people call luck. And again, like I said a couple weeks back, if somebody calls you lucky and it's because you're a bit more successful than they are, or you've done something different with your life, you should be offended. You should be pissed that somebody would relegate your hard work and boil it down to something, boil the ocean down into a shot glass and call it luck. No, it's crap, and you should be pissed. So I'm starting to get a little emotional about it myself now, because people call me that. Oh, you got lucky. No, I did not. I put in years to get where I am. I went 5 years in college with barely any income to prep for my career. And people don't see that. They're just, well, you're doing really well, blah blah blah. So anyway, I digress, guys. But again, just kind of going over it. You can work hard to get lucky, and no never means no. So if someone tells you the answer is no, you figure out a way to outflank that pop-up roadblock and get around it and keep moving forward. You don't stop, and you keep working hard. You work hard to get lucky. So I'll close with one example that I grew up with. My grandfather, I believe he made it to the 8th grade. I'm not sure if he finished the 8th grade. World War II was happening, all that kind of stuff about that time. So he needed to go home, and the laws were different back then. You could do that. You could just have your kid come home and work the fields, and that's what he did. He gets down to Florida. It's all sugar sand. The weather's completely different. So the crops, how they were grown further up north, would not sustain down in Florida. So you had heavy rains. So you had things like hail that would come down and damage your plants, or hard rain would come down and damage your plants. You had fungus that would grow because it's so humid there that the leaves wouldn't dry out. So your crops would literally rot in the field before harvest. So he took a fungicide, and he took something liquid copper, and he boosted up, basically invented the mix ratio. Again, he's not a chemist, but he took a shot at it. And I guess the people in Gainesville, that's kind of like the hub of the South there, is Gainesville as far as agriculture is concerned. And they took note. They keep records of how much acreage you have versus how many Class A peppers you produce, or cucumbers, whatever the case may be that you're growing. So in this case, it got the attention of Gainesville because he produced more Class A peppers than anybody else for his size per capita. So they came down, and the guy from Gainesville, the professor, the PhD, how are you doing this? And he told him 50% manzanite, 50% copper. And the guy laughed at him and told him he was wasting his money. You know, he's told my grandfather he's wasting his money as, you know, the peppers are coming in and he's harvesting them and packing them on trucks. This guy's telling him, hey, you're wasting your money. So, you know, he went back and, you know, tried what my grandfather said up there in Gainesville, and that became the standard for the next 2 decades, is what my grandfather invented, literally invented in the fields. So, you know, the whole state of Florida's pepper yields went up because of that man. And all it was hard work in preparation. He didn't get lucky and just have a good year. He had all good years, you know, when it came to that. He took that roadblock out of the equation. You know what? You know what's not going to affect my crops? The copper is going to make the leaves harder so they sustain like the heavy rains and some small hail. And then the manzate's going to prevent them from rotting in the field. So he took that problem out of the equation. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with farmers or not, but there's about a tremendous amount of things that can go wrong that can really break you. So removing 1 or 2 things is a big deal. So anyway, there's an example of somebody who didn't stop. No never meant no. They kept moving forward. They outflanked the roadblocks, in this case the weather and the Florida humidity, and basically set the bar for the entire state, for the entire region, for what those mixtures were supposed to be. So, and again, he didn't need a fancy degree. He didn't have a degree. You know, he had an education in his mind. He knew what worked and what didn't. He was analytical about a situation. He made changes. So again, no never means no. You work hard to get lucky, quote unquote lucky, and that's where hard work and preparation meet on the demand curve. So I hope I've made this pretty simple and easy to understand. So like and subscribe, guys, if you like this kind of content. I can give you other examples. I plan on doing it. You know, giving other examples of personal triumphs where I've been told no and still ended up being successful. Subscribe, and as always, simplify.